is the Nina Sunday Show edition of the Whatchamacallit podcast. Or Whatchamacallit.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of What Do You Call It podcast. I'm your host, GB. Today's guest is a Suplex merchant. Please give it up for Alf Edwards. How you doing today, mate? You all good?
Yeah, I'm doing well, mate. Thank you. Thank you very much. Pleasure having me on here.
Oh, glad to have you on, mate.
Yes.
I know you've been busy today. I actually want to talk about you going to the Revolution Pro Wrestling School in London. Just before we do talk about your career and sort of break down where you are, at the moment. But I want to talk about it just because it has just happened. How was it? Want to find out?
Mate. It was really good. Session was taken by David Francisco, who formerly used to run the Knuckle Locks in Brixton. The Rev Pro School is currently located in Seven Sisters, which is like North London near Tottenham, and there was a lot of Tottenham fans about, which, yeah. Yeah, I noticed there's a lot of Tottenham fans.
I know you told me before this, right? Don't say CNT, but Tottenham's worse than that, mate.
But yeah, mate, it was good. We had a good 2.5 hour session.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I had a good time today. Yeah, it was good to be back training with David, who hasn't taught me for a while since before the pandemic. So yeah, it was good today. Yeah.
I like that you're still active, but you want to train more as well. I like that you're not just gone, okay, I just want to do matches, but you want to learn more.
Of course I do. I'm still at a point where I'm basically a trainee. I've been doing this since 2018.
Yeah.
And I've only started having my first couple of matches this year. And so really in my head, I'm still a trainee wrestler, and I'm just sort of breaking into having matches now. So that's the big reason why I'm still trying to train as many places as I can now. So obviously I've got Play Fight, which is run by Cara Noir, with sessions taken by
Spike getting a good reputation. I've had a few people that have been on the show.
I know. I've seen you've had Bo Bells and you've had Sky O'Shore in here as well.
Yeah.
So they're great as well. So Play Fight and now the Rev Pro School is probably where I'm going to be training now. Yeah.
Awesome. Just before I talk about you getting into wrestling a few years ago, I want to rewind the clocks a little bit and find out what actually got you into wrestling in the first place.
Yeah, of course. Like as far as I know, wrestling's just always been there. It's crazy. I can't really think of a specific point where I was like, oh, I like this. And I've got. I think one of my earliest memories is like one Christmas. I think I got one of the video games. Like I think it weren't like Here Come the Pain or anything. It was like one of the Raw ones. I think when I got my Xbox when I was a kid. That must be it. It was when I got the video games as a kid, and I played the video games as a child, and I think that was my first, insight into wrestling. And then as I got older, I got into it more. I'd go in. I had a lot of friends in school who watched wrestling, and they became like my closest friends. And I'm still really good friends with them now, all my wrestling pals. And when I left school, I left sixth form, and I was like, I don't really know what I want to do in my life.
Yeah.
And I decided, you know what, I love wrestling. Let's just give that a go. And that's when I was 18, I found the Knuckle Locks in Brixton. I went to my first session, and I've not looked back since, really.
Nice.
Yeah.
When you were playing the game, by the way, because I only played it 1 or 2 times, but I was bored for PS Man. I would always play like SmackDown versus Raw.
Yeah.
Pain. But who do you always like kind of find yourself playing as?
You know what? I really liked the Undertaker's on it back then, because on that game he was the American Badass as well.
Yeah.
And he'd come out on the bike, he'd have the Limp Bizkit music, and I love that. Exactly. It's a tune. It's still a tune. And I always play when I was a kid. I always just because he come out on a motorbike, and I thought he was wicked.
Nice. Was Undertaker then one of your favourites growing up as well when you were?
Oh yeah, I think for a lot of people he is, really, isn't he? Yeah. I love the Undertaker. I think my biggest inspiration when I was a kid was Rey Mysterio.
Nice.
Like who's completely a different wrestler to what I am.
Yeah.
Like, because obviously he's like the small high flyer. I'm short as well, but like I sort of do big man stuff for a little dude. So
you don't let your height get away.
No, I don't. No, I've always been told I've got a low center of gravity. That's what I'm always told, and that's where the whole suplex thing comes from. Because I can use that to my advantage. That's where it all comes from.
Wicked, wicked. When you did begin your training, what did you find to be some of the biggest challenges?
Challenges.
Because
You
I've
know
had
what?
some interesting answers. Some people have said promos, for example, or just the mentality. But I just want to hear from your experience.
Yeah. The thing is, I didn't. What can I say? What do I find difficult? I think just from the beginning, I feel one thing that shocked me with it is that obviously you go into it, like, well, wrestling's not real, and I sort of went into it thinking, but this is a lot more real than what people believe it like isn't,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. Like you go in and you're hitting each other, like there's impact and it hurts a bit, and I think one thing I found difficult was getting home after that first session because we did bumps repeatedly, and when we did it, I got up, I was like, oh, it's not so bad, and then it kicks in a few hours later. And I got home and I was laying on my sofa and I could not move. Which was
but you went back though. So
I went back the next week. Yeah.
I'm gonna assume it got easier on your body and just sort of going back and you kind of got used to it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, your body gets used to it and it's just your body sort of armors it, if that makes sense. And your body becomes a natural shock absorber to all the bumps over time. So yeah.
Nice. And when did you make your in-ring debut?
My official in-ring debut was only a couple months ago now. And it was a show I wasn't originally meant to be on either. It was a show in Welling for promotion UKPW.
Yeah.
And I turned up to help out, and they always say, bring your gear just in case. And that's what I did. I took my gear with me, and when I was there helping out, they went, have you got your gear with you, Ralph? And I went, yeah. Why? And then he pitched it to me like, if you want, there's a space on the card, like someone's pulled out. Could you fill it for us? And I went, yeah, sure. And it was a very, very small crowd.
Yeah.
Like very limited people, and it was a very basic match I was asked to put on for them, and I thought I was told I did quite well. So yeah, I was quite proud of it.
I mean, to be given that feedback and to do it sort of such short notice, and to be praised. I mean, the kind of match must have made you feel so much better to just take the ball and you rolled with it, and then to get that feedback. Have you had? Because I mentioned about your wrestling friends. You said like, oh, you're still friends with them now. Have they seen you wrestle live?
Yes. Most recently, I wrestled in Bexley Heath, which is it's quite near to me. And it was my first championship match against Danny Black for the UKPW Interregional Championship, and I had loads of family there. It was in the middle of the high street, so it was free to come along to. So I had loads of family.
The presentation, by the way, I was going to talk about it. It's so cool, man. Like a cost coffee, and just like a whole crowd watching you in town. Like it's so unique.
Yeah, it was wicked. And I had a lot of friends, especially because they've seen videos of me train, and that's it. Like all my closest mates. But when they come to that, they come over to me after, and they was like, "Bloody hell!" And there was. It's very with your close mates. It's quite rare to show love,
Yeah.
But, like a lot of them come up to me. They was like bloody hell, and they was like hugging me, and I was like, it was really good, and I felt so proud of myself. And it weren't just my friends. I had all my family there watching, and I thought I had such a good time. It was amazing.
But you have to kind of stay in character as well, because I know, like,
of course.
You're heel, so
exactly. Yeah. I think when you have family in the crowd, it's easier to be heel because you can just slag off them.
I've been wanting to say this for a long time. No, just in character. Just in character.
Just in character. Just in character, yeah. I'm not targeting strangers. I'll target them.
No, that's cool, man. But like, what did they think after it? Like, I know you said, oh, but they're just like, holy shit, I wish I did it now. Did they find themselves like, you're really fucking good at this?
Yeah, you know what? With my mates, it's always like, I've always said, like, oh, would you want to come along? And they're like, like I think none of them are keen on actually being wrestlers. They love wrestling, but when it comes to actually doing it, I think I was the only one that went. I am the only one that's just gone, I want to give this a go, and I'm the only one
done it.
Still now, yeah. Well, if they don't want to do it, it's fine. I'm not telling them they have to come along, but like,
lads, if you listen to this, you just need to get in the fucking ring now.
yeah. You have to come along. I've always tried convincing them.
I tried it myself, and it just wasn't for me. I did it at Dropkick School many years ago. I'm not going to show my age.
Oh, really?
Did one lesson. They didn't even have the ring set up at the time. So it was just so weird. A lot of it was cardio and then doing back bumps on the blue mats, and just, I kind of accepted it. It was just like a normal blue mat, get in schools. Yeah, just literally that.
Yeah.
Just
doing
tie-ups and stuff. And I don't know. I think maybe the ring being set up might have had a better impression.
Oh, yeah, it would.
I think just, it's just like, and plus it's quite far away, just getting on a Sunday as well. So, and I'm quite lazy, so I'd rather talk to wrestlers,
That's fair
and
enough.
you guys can tell me about how it all is, and then I can just be like, yeah, I'm one of the boys.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's cool, man. That's cool. I actually want to go to the outdoor shows because you had just mentioned it when you did like the shows and your family and friends were there. But I just want to ask you about them in general because it looks like a lot of fun. How is it doing those shows? And you have done indoor shows as well, haven't you?
I have, yes. The very first one I did was an indoor show, yeah.
And how do you find the differences in general? Do you actually prefer doing outdoors?
With the you know what, it is quite similar. I feel like when you're out there, and you just got to treat it like it's all the same, I guess.
Yeah.
But then again, with those outdoor shows, a lot of them are just people walking past.
Yeah, I was
Some of
going
them
to
might not
say
even be wrestling fans, you know. They're just walking about to see what's going on.
they might be easy to convince in a way. Like they're not going to be too smarky, or you know.
That's true. Yeah, they might just see it and be like, oh, like they see a big bump and it's like,
Ooh,
oh my
this
God, and they're
man,
like,
cheat this man.
yeah, exactly. They just go along with it, maybe.
Yeah.
And with the indoor show, I feel like the fans sort of know what, like, obviously they go in, they know what they're expecting, and you like it somewhat makes it a bit easier.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, they're good. I like the presentation. I've got to ask, well, how is it working for Progress Wrestling? You actually got involved in a match between Cara Noir and Spike Gervais.
Yeah, I did.
Doing
Yeah.
crew, and you actually quite a memorable spot. So just tell me
Yeah,
how
it
you
was.
planned that, and how was it overall in this experience?
Because I remember a few weeks beforehand, it was I was asked, I was like, "Are you available for the Progress show?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm available on this day. Yeah, like, oh, we want you to crew." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And then they told me like it was all like for this spot they wanted to do with a match, and I was the one selected to take the drop kick for some reason.
You sold that dropkick so well, though. By the way,
I've been told that. Yeah, I didn't sell it. He kicked the crap out of me. Honest, like and like it weren't just me. Obviously, he had Delphine, who was also crewing. He had his nose bitten off by Spike.
That's why Spike had blood. I didn't see that bit. I saw Spike blood in the mouth.
He bit Delphine's nose. Delphine had blood all over his face and had to get taken to the back. Then Spike decided to punch me in the face, throw me in the ring, and I got in Cara Noir's way. And he just, I don't know how to say it. He just beat the crap out of me with that kick. It took a lot out of me. So that was fun. It was good fun though. I was a bit after. As I said, it kicked in a few moments later. I think there was a bit of adrenaline in my system. And
Did you not get tempted just like rip up your crew shirts? But come on, Cara Noir.
Nah, I took that kick and I was like, I'm going to sit in this corner for the rest of the spot now.
Yeah,
I'm not getting up.
Dives over, just fucking the height in that.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was wicked. I couldn't actually see the dive. I saw him jump over, but I didn't turn around to have a look.
But you can't just turn around. Ooh.
Yeah, exactly. And I just sat in the corner of that ring. I'm sitting here, and I'm going to sell it for the rest of the spot. Nice. I'm not moving.
But it's quite common though, like for wrestlers when they're sort of quite early on to do security work and crew work, and you see like some of the biggest names WWE. A lot of them have done it. Sheamus himself, man. EC3, like Bobby Roode, like Triple H, and obviously just it's pretty cool to have been involved quite, to do that, and then at one of the best venues in Britain, Electric Ballroom.
Yeah, it was wicked. Yeah. That was only the second Progress show I've ever been to. I went to first ever Progress show I went to was like a few months before when you had Cara Noir versus Chris Ridgway. It was the first show back after the pandemic, actually.
Yeah.
That's the first ever Progress show I went to, and then I went to that one after was the second one I ever went to. And normally I just sort of just follow Progress online because I really do like British independent wrestling.
There's just so much
following. It's just so much of it though. Yeah, it is. So I try and keep up with it as much as I can.
It must be hard for you as well because you are training, you're doing shows as well, plus working and just
working out.
There's just so much.
There is so much. There's loads of it. Yeah.
But I think that's why being a fan at the moment is quite fun at the moment. Oh
yeah, it's good to be a fan. I'm still.
And
a fan
it's so easy to access things as well now. Sign up, pay this amount. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The old VHS days. I don't know. Did you have the VHS days yourself, or was it DVD for you?
I had. When I was very, very young, like I was sort of in the area where it was like VHS going into DVDs.
Yeah.
But like mainly DVDs, mainly DVDs.
Okay. Show my age then. No, that's cool, man. Suplex Merchant, something I said at the beginning of the podcast. What is it about suplexes that you like to use in your moveset? Like, is it because they're effective? Do you find it quite easy for you to do them? Just, I want to hear from you why you've incorporated it.
Yeah, because as I said, like before, like with the low center of gravity thing, I've always just been told, like when when you break into training, it's like you start with like the very basic stuff, and then you go into like doing moves. And I was like, oh, I want to do a suplex, and I would do them, and every time, everyone would go, "You're really good at it." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." So I just thought, like, it just sort of stuck. I just thought, how can I, if I'm good at something, and this can go with anyone. If you're good at something, how can you make it like a common thing and incorporate it into your character or your gimmick?
Yeah.
So like I've been told, like with the like suplexes, and it's not just German suplexes. I want to try and vary it. So I've got all
variations,
yeah, exactly. And like because I was told I was good at them from the start, I was like, okay, I'm gonna incorporate into my character and just have that be like sort of my moveset, really. That's just, and I was just, as I said, I find them quite easy, and I think they're such cool moves as well. So yeah.
Have you found yourself like studying any other wrestlers? I know like Taz would be probably top of the list, but any other
Taz
wrestlers
is there.
that might not stick out?
Taz, Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Who else is good with the suplexes?
Steiner Brothers?
Yeah, Steiner Brothers. Yeah, they're ones I really got to look into. But yeah, it's one person that always comes up is Taz.
Yeah.
People always say, I watch a lot of Taz matches. Like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. And then I have who's wicked, Brock Lesnar, who's really good with the German suplexes. Yeah, it's mainly them two. Yeah.
Yeah. Taz is great. I used to love him back.
Kurt Angle as well.
Ah, yeah, man.
Kurt Angle. Yeah.
I used to always try and do suplexes on the teddy bears and just like, oh, top of the world, but I couldn't. I
did it. I did it on everything. Yeah, you just wrestled teddies as a kid.
No. If you could go back in time and pick one match that you could attend live as a fan, what match would you pick and why?
There's a lot of good matches out there. I think one match I would pick is
It doesn't necessarily have to be because it was like match of the year or 5 stars. You could even think maybe the atmosphere or because it was at this event.
Yeah. I've got a match in mind though. One of my favorite matches of all time is the Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania 28 with I just like watching that when I was younger, and the atmosphere of it, like the entire match, the brutalness of the match.
Yeah,
it was insane.
One of the best false finishes ever.
The best false finish ever.
Probably, maybe.
I think it is, and I think that kick out at that when he kicks out of that at that point, I was like,
pedigree.
I was like, I genuinely believe that it was like it's physically impossible to beat the Undertaker at WrestleMania. Like it can't be done.
Sean selling, just like
exactly. Like it was done so well. A lot of people don't like the match because they believe it went on a bit too long.
No, I thought it was fine.
No, I thought it was great. I thought it was absolutely wicked.
It was actually brilliant. It's probably one of the best Hell in a Cell. Not my personal favorite, but it is a brilliant match.
Yeah, I thought it was insane. Yeah, I loved it.
But I think if you asked Bret Hart, he'd be like 4 out of 10. But
yeah, I'd pick that match to go back and watch live. Yeah.
Nice. So you pick Undertaker, Triple H, Shawn Michaels special referee, WrestleMania 28, Hell in a Cell. Good choice. No, I like that. I like that. I'm going to ask my famous question.
Okay.
3 dream dinner. I think the smile there. I think you really know I'm going to ask.
Yeah, I've heard about this.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, but I hope you got good answers then. 3 dream dinner guests for your dream party. You're the host. You get to pick them. Fictional, non-fictional. Can be anyone. Can be your neighbour's dog if you really want to pick them. Can be anyone. But if you can also give a reason as why you want them at your meal, please provide it as well if you can.
Yeah, of course. First of all, I've got to pick Rey Mysterio.
Nice.
He's my absolute idol growing up. I think it would be wicked to have him there. So he could tell me stories, like, you know, he could give me insights on wrestling, stories about Eddie, everything he did growing up, how he got into business. I feel like if I was to sit there and talk to any wrestler, it would have to be Rey.
Have you seen his biography, by the way, on the AEW series? There's a Legend series. It's fantastic. It's about an hour and a half long. It is. Oh, it's brilliant. It'll make you, as someone who really likes Rey as it is, loves Rey, you'll like him even more. He is one of the nicest guys in the business, and he actually opens up. There's a lot of things I didn't have a clue about. So when you watch it, you'll be like, holy shit. But it'll make you appreciate it more. Okay,
wicked. Yeah, I'll definitely give that a watch. Yeah, Rey Mysterio will be the first person on the list. Secondly, I'm a massive Linkin Park fan. And nice. I love Chester Bennington.
Yeah.
Like, if I was to sit down and talk with him, I think that would be really good. Because obviously, before he passed away, like I never actually got to see Linkin Park live, and I remember they was on tour at the time.
Same.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and then so when he passed away, I was like it was gutted, you know. So I feel like having him there, I think that would be pretty good.
I like that. That's a good answer.
Yeah, thank you. And for my third one, you know what, Danny, I've heard about this question and I still can't think of a third person.
Think outside the box.
Because I don't want to go like all wrestling. I know it's like a wrestling.
Some people do. Some people do, to be fair. They do get stuck and they're so, you know, because I've been talking with wrestling for like last 10, 15, whatever. So if you want to have a wrestling answer, mate, you are the host. It is your party.
Thank you.
Invite me if you want. Brownie points.
You know what? I'm also a massive Edge fan.
Nice.
Like, yeah, and I think I would have to have Edge there as well. Hear about him, talk about, because he would be a good one, especially him and Ray. They had the chemistry before they formed a tag team in a minute, really.
Yeah.
So like to hear their stories together, I think would be pretty cool. Yeah. So Edge as well.
Seeing them live at Clash at the Castle, I became a kid when Edge came out to his theme song. Oh my god, I stood up. I was just like, I was so emotional. Oh man.
I've seen Edge live once before. I think it was my first WWE show when I was about 10 years old, and it was just after WrestleMania 25.
Oh, okay.
And it was the feud where John Cena was world champion, and they was going into Extreme Rules with the last man standing match, and Edge was there. And yeah, that was wicked. And Rey Mysterio was also at that show, and I was amazed by that.
You're actually just a fan. It's nice to sometimes just sort of get away and just, you know, forget whatever's going on, and just what we see live, you just become a kid again. Edge is special. Though. He's just a rock star, like a modern day rock star, isn't he? Just
he
so
is.
Cool.
Yeah, he's wicked.
No, I absolutely love him. As you said, like you've been training for a while, but you're doing more matches now this year. I want to ask, do you have any specific career goals? I know, I think some people that ask that question, they might think, oh, it's WWE, but I think it's been proven that you don't have to go WWE to be successful in wrestling now. Yeah,
of course. Yeah, I feel like obviously WWE is a massive goal if you want to achieve that, and if WWE was to ever come knocking, I'd be like amazed. I'll be honest. If that ever happens, I don't know. I think my overall goal is to just try and do this for as long as I can.
Yeah.
See how far it takes me and just let it all happen naturally.
Any countries you like to wrestle in?
I'd like to wrestle anywhere. If anyone was to have me, America, really. I think like wrestling scene's massive over there, as we know. We've got WWE and AEW.
They love our style as well, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel out in the US would be incredible. I feel like the overall goal really is to try and make this a full-time thing, whether it's for a big promotion or just as on the independent circuit. I think the overall goal is just to make this my life, really. That's the overall goal for me.
Yeah, awesome, man. I hope you get there. I think you will.
Thank you, man.
I've seen your stuff as well. I mean, if anyone wants YouTube, your matches are available on YouTube as well.
Yes, they are, yes.
And you can happily watch you as well. And I will post a highlight video, which I've gained permission from to put at the end of this video as well. Some of your good stuff as well. And I'm glad to have you on. Is there anything you want to promote, plug, share? Anything you want to say? Platform is yours, as we are now at the end of this interview.
Okay, no worries. Okay, what do I want to plug?
Anyone you want to slag off, go for it. If it's Tottenham,
you've gone.
1 second, people. I have gone. Am I still back? I'm back, unfortunately, people. So what the fuck happened there?
No worries. I'll plug my own Instagram at Alf_Edwards_. That's my Instagram. I'll plug that. I don't really want to shout out anyone. I don't mean that in a rude way.
There's people listening to you, right? For specific, well, let me try this again. There's people who can listen to this episode specifically for you, and it's you like, I don't really want to shout anyone. Like, I don't give a fuck.
And I don't mean that in a rude, because I feel like I'm going to say names, and there's always people who are going to be like,
it's
where was my name?
Like it's an Oscar speech.
If I just don't say anyone,
I'm my dad. My teacher.
If I just don't say anyone, then I've treated everyone fair. So
it's a good answer.
I'm sorry to anyone. They're all gonna hate. Everyone's gonna hate me now. I'm not gonna be let back into training.
I'll let you back in here. Don't worry, it's fine.
No worries. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. And what else can I say? I want to shout out UKPW overall, because they're the first promotion to ever give me an opportunity and give all my wrestling pals an opportunity to wrestle and do what we love. So I feel like UKPW, they've got their YouTube channel. They're all on Instagram as well. Just search UKPW, it will come up. They've helped me a lot, and being the ones to help me, as I said, give me my first opportunity, and I've been extremely grateful for it. So yeah.
Awesome. Shout out to UKPW.
Thank you.
Giving this man an opportunity.
Mhm.
Funko Pops. I will end the interview with asking a question about Funko Pops. Don't think I've actually ever spoke about Funko Pops because
Have you
they're
not?
staring at me right now. I can see them, and
Yeah.
I feel like people watching this on YouTube will probably be curious. What is your favorite Funko Pop, if you can name one or just a
That
few
I
that
own.
really stand out to you?
You know what? I love them all. I'm not sure. I've got quite a lot.
Is there any Funko Pops that you want that you can't find then, like a really rare one? I'm not really into them, but I know they're quite worth a bit sometimes.
There's one. It's coming out, but if I may, like it's when the Spider-Man movie came out last year, I was like, they got to do a 3-pack with all the 3 Spider-Men, and I'm pretty sure they're making it, and it's scheduled to come out at some point. And that's I really want it because Spider-Man's my favorite Marvel hero, and
he is cool.
Yeah, and to have all 3 of them, I think that's the one I want. That's the one I really want. Yeah,
nice. I'm kind of struggling with She-Hulk at the moment.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to jump the bandwagon because I actually like the first. I really like the first episode. Second episode was decent, and I feel like it's just become a bit of a mess now. I'm not jumping the bandwagon but I've tried to give it a chance, but I'm now struggling with it. I'm just like, it's a bit,
I understand what you mean. I feel like each episode's a bit different. Nothing's really happened
yet.
Not
a bad thing, but I feel it's just how it is set up. It's a bit overplayed for me personally, and the CGI can be quite distracting.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I feel, because I've watching it, I feel like nothing's really happened yet.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah,
I think it started off with a bang. You know how she became She-Hulk because of Eric, and then she's a lawyer. Then now she's just, I don't know, it's just random, like nothing big happening.
Yeah, nothing. No, hopefully it'll.
Yeah, hopefully we get a proper villain. Maybe I don't really read She-Hulk. I couldn't tell you like the actual villains are. Episode 55. It should be. I'm not that comic snub.
Yes, fair.
No, it's all good. I actually fell asleep through the new 4 as well, but I will finish it off.
Oh, did you really? I went cinema to watch that. I did enjoy it. I didn't think it was the best Marvel film, but I did enjoy it. I
kind of feel like at the moment I'm about an hour in, but I fell asleep just because I'm a bit rough around the edges at the moment. Because I think we was going to do this yesterday, but I don't know. I feel like it's just kind of a bit pointless for me. Did they really have to make this? But some people like it.
I liked it, but did it have to be there? But I know what you mean.
Money makes money, mate. But also,
of course,
thank you for coming on. It's been a blast talking to you.
Cheers, man. Thank you very much.
I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, bank holiday as well. I actually did say the other episode was going to be my last for the week, but I lied. So got another bonus episode this week. This should be coming out at the end of the weekend. So happy days. I will have more episodes coming out next week. So keep an eye out for that. If you want to keep an eye out for that and more content that I'll be producing, my details are in the description below. My social media handles. Please give me a follow. Support the channel so I can produce more awesome content on a weekly basis. Like this interview with Alf Edwards. But you can also follow him as well. I'll put his details in the description as well. But for now, everyone, God save the Queen. That's the right thing to say, is it? Long live the King, isn't it now? I don't know. I'm just trying to be...
God save the King.
Yeah, God save the King, But you know what I mean? Like, I think country's a bit up and down at the moment, so...
It is,
But whatever you do, I hope everyone has a good weekend. And for now, everyone, take care.
Yo, very good, very nice. She look good in the day, look good in the night. Told her straight that she caught my eye, and when she showed up, very good, very nice. Blue eyes, brown eyes, green eyes. I don't mind. 3 times I tried, but you never obliged. Very good, very nice.
Hello there. I've got a special announcement from my next guest.
I'm Tony Sin, the best thing to happen to British wrestling since the invention of the ropes, and I'll be appearing on the What Do You Call It podcast.
You heard.